Dowie, great name, sent $4.99. Says Wakanda forever. Did you see the Namor actor said he was only cast because of inclusion? Makes sense. Obviously, it wasn't his acting ability. Ha. So I know Paulie will dispute, Tenoch Huerta's acting ability. I've made it clear I've never seen him in anything besides those clips, and his acting in those clips is awful. But yeah, I mean, Paulie, give us a rundown of this inclusion comment, because I know you've got some thoughts on that.
Well,
more positive versus what this, what Dowie is saying here. What's your spin on this inclusion? I mean, it is right. Like, Namor Tenoch did say he was hired because of inclusion, right?
Well, he said he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for inclusion, which is different than, in the literal sense of, I got hired because of inclusion. He didn't say that, and in his translation of his English, he's more saying because of inclusion and diversity as a whole in general, he's here. And I think that's I don't like that. I obviously don't like that. I think it cheapens the work, and talent. He's a massive talent. He's menacing in a TV show called Narcos Mexico season 1, which he eats up the scenery with Diego Luna. I mean, these guys play drug dealers, and he's incredible. So when he first got cast about 2 years ago, I was totally excited because I'm like, oh man, he's gonna be a badass Namor. He's just gonna be ferocious. And he still can. The scenes that I saw, this Namor in the scene that I saw, it comes up as nervous, emotionally unstable, and that's not Namor.
No.
So I'm not happy about that. But yeah, look I'm not gonna go tit for tat with anyone, as far as the inclusion thing. So Dowie, I appreciate your super chat. It's just if it was just like it by itself, it's one thing, but because it's not just one movie, it's almost every movie they're changing everything, and it's not even that they're not even that good. I get it. Paul knows my stance on name or something. Oh yeah, Brian McCann. Yeah. There's some good comments in the chat. So that's really
What do you think about his acting ability then? So well, I mean, on the topic of him saying the inclusion thing, I guess realistically what you're saying is he should have led with, I'm here because they're having they're including Latinos, and hey, I'm a good actor. I never always surprises me why they never lead with that. Lead with his skill. Lead with that.
Well, he's a pretty woke fellow, from Mexico. He even has a movement called Poder Prieto, which means it's this, and it's a thing where be strong in your dark skin, so to speak. You're able. Dark people are able, and it's a total different world as far as Spanish-speaking market and in here, right? Because the Spanish-speaking market, everyone looks white. I mean, it just is, man. TVs, novellas, movies, over there, from Mexico down to Chile, it's just a fact. So I get where he's coming from with that. I get it. Like, I can show you a cast of one of my favorite novellas, and they're all, for lack of a better word, white looking, and they're beautiful, whatever, they're talented and all that stuff. But so I get where he's coming from. So some people are annoyed by that in Mexico. Some people don't like him from Mexico, and that's fine too. Speaking of people from Mexico,
Tom's from Mexico now.
Yeah,
Tom, you from Mexico,
buddy?
See,
no green card. See, I don't know what I'm doing.
So,
what are you guys even talking about other than Mexico?
Well, so we're talking. So we've been talking about Wakanda Forever and the opening, sort of reviews that have come out. Basically, you know, the embargo's lifted and the reviews. Have you seen the reviews? They're not good.
I haven't read any specific ones, but I've heard a few of the blurbs from the regular talking heads, and like, yeah, it's all the same shit. It sounds like it's getting 1,000% on Rotten Tomatoes, so you know, it's a certified triumph.
It's going down.
Well-
Yeah, and so just to finish with that whole thing, in like I was telling you that the Notch is, you know, very, very, very woke in his politics and his social stances. I can separate, especially if I like an actor's talent, and I love this actor as an actor. I just love watching him. I feel he's got really something different to offer, and you don't see a leading man like him very often. He can be menacing, he can be sweet, he can be vulnerable, he can be a killer, he can you know, be very, you know, he's got great range. So it's almost a shame, you know. I even put a playlist together of my reviews of his older films. Go see his older films. So that's really my take on the Notch.